What's up everyone, welcome to episode 7 of the educational series. Today we're going to be going through some footwork drills and also some reaction drills. We're going to start off using these. So these are reaction balls. Come in 4 different colours. Ideally I won't use the blue one inside here because the walls are blue and it's going to be really hard to tell the difference and catch this and react. However, I'm going to give you 2 drills to use. First drill will be a basic drill and the second one will be a progression drill. It's much harder and more advanced and definitely will test your reaction skills. The reason why we need reaction is because, or we need to progress our reaction skills and our hand-eye coordination, is because in a game, if we're on defense or attack, say we're on attack, someone passes us the ball slightly behind, slightly in front, we can react and catch it. Or if there's a knock on from the other team, you can react and catch that ball. If there's a spot, so say if the attacker comes up and you can spot that gap, react to it, evade him, break through. Defense, again, if the guy in front of you tries to step you, you can react, make the tackle. So it's the little things that we can keep practicing and working on that will improve our performance as an athlete. So we're going to start with this and then we're going to go outside onto the track and move on to some more drills. Exercise 1, get yourself a ball, reaction ball, and a wall. All we're going to do, we're going to throw it against the wall and catch it. Simple, easy exercise. What I tend to do is I do 3 rounds. So I keep going until I fail, 1 round. Keep going until I fail, 2 rounds, and the final round, 3 rounds. I tend to do this between my gym work. So say if I've done bench press and I've got a 2-3 minute rest, then I'll come over here and I'll start working on my drills. It's the little things you can do between, so your working sets or between anything that will help slowly increase your rugby performance. So have a watch. So as you notice there, I'm throwing it with my right and my left. I'm not just favoriting one side. We need to keep changing, throwing it. If you want to make it harder for yourself, get closer to the wall and with more force, throw it against. Or again, you can go backwards and launch it. But again, it's hard to, because when you throw against the wall and you're far back, you have to go a mile to catch it. So I find it better if you get close to the wall, throw it hard, it's going to bounce quicker and we're going to move across to get that ball. So that's the drill number 1, easy. Now we're going to move on to a more difficult exercise, definitely a real tester. Have a watch. Okay, so now we're going to jump on to the next drill. It's an advanced drill, so we're going to face the wall, we're going to throw the ball behind us. Again, you can change if you want. My left hand throwing is not very good, so I stick with my right. Throw against the wall, turn around and catch it. Give it a go. There you go, there's 2 drills you can use. Give them a go. Real difficult, but it will improve your performance. So now I'm going to be showing you some agility drills and some stepping drills that we can use with Ram Rugby's agility ladders and agility rings. So let's get onto it. So one of the main problems I believe that people do with the agility ladders, is they use them incorrectly. So doing all this Speedy Gonzalez feet, all this amazing, it looks good in a video, relating it back to rugby and performance, it doesn't do much. We need to get you out of that, and I'm going to show you some proper drills you can do to improve your agility, your stepping. Also, I'm going to throw in some plyometric drills and a strength drill, because in fact, if you do all these quick speed feet, you're going to lose speed, you're not going to go anywhere, and you're not going to move your defender. If you want to step someone, you want to use the big space of the step, you want to cover more ground and then you want to push off the 1 foot. Whereas if you're doing all these little high knees or this little behind your body footwork, you're not ever going to use that in a rugby game and it's not going to move anyone. Potentially the reason why American footballers use it is because when they're opposite someone, they have to do some footwork or whatever to get around the defender in front of them. Whereas in rugby, you don't start face to face. You don't start like that, do we? It's continuous within the players, within the motion. So if you're doing that, cut that out, stop doing that, and we're going to jump onto some exercises I believe you should throw in to make yourself a better athlete, rugby athlete. So let's get to it.
So the reason why I'm starting off with some single footwork, ankle strength is very, very important for stepping and in rugby, so we don't get injured. Working on your single leg strength, power strength, and ankle is very key. 1 for speed, 2 for agility. If we go for that step and our ankle rolls, that's a big injury potentially. We don't want that. Also, if we have the ankle strength, we can take more force on our ankles, we can push off our feet more with more stability at the bottom, and it will work our way up to the top. So if your ankle's strong and your knee's strong and your quads, your hamstrings are strong, your glutes are strong, everything works together, you got a much better step and a much more powerful step. So working on single leg jumps like that is really key. I suggest it when you get into a warm-up. If you're going to do a sprint session or before a rugby session with your players or by yourself, lay these ladders out and then just go through these drills just to get warmed up, some plyometrics to get you going, and then jump straight into your session. So that's another 3 drills I've just given you using the 2 feet this time. So they're all plyometric drills, all going to help you with the leg strength and your power. So it will relate back to speed, it will relate back to your tackling, because obviously we're getting low and we're powering straight up. Really good drills, give them a go, let me know how you get on. That's another quick 3 drills I've just given you. So starting off with a lateral work that's specific to stepping there. So as you can see, you can have this, if you're not as powerful or you're a new athlete, you can start with the small ones and then you can use the squares to see your progress. So maybe start with just a 2 square gap, then a 3 square gap, then a 4 square gap, and then there's your progression through that. After that, we've got broad jumps, so jumping a long distance. Obviously at the end there, I put 2 ladders together so we can get more than 1 rep. If you want to, maybe you could use this to test your max, so your full distance, which you can use for testing. See how many squares, then you can then measure that perfectly, or you can just use the squares. So this month I got 3 squares, whereas the next month I managed to jump 5 squares. So the training I'm doing is benefiting me because, as you can see, I'm more powerful, I can jump further. There's another way you can do it, and then you can put them together and then you can get 3 or 4 reps in. Jump, jump, jump again, plyometrics, leg power again. So far we've got ankle strength, stability, we've got the leg power for speed, we practice the lateral step, working on the power laterally. Now we're going to move on to using the Rugby Ram agility rings and practicing the step, just the step, not worrying about power now. We're just trying to educate ourselves in the footing and the placements, how far and wide we should be. So have a watch. Okay, so now we're going to move on to the rings. So the awesome thing about this is they come connected, or we can split them apart and have 2, which is perfect for getting your feeting exactly right in the step. So I'm going to give you a few drills, how we can practice the step. Not a stepping genius, but this is the way I think it works, from watching different steps and attempting them in a game myself, however well or awfully bad they go. So have a watch. Okay, so they're just a few steps you can play around with. Some of you may know many more steps than me. Those are some basics I try and attempt to use. Really play around with it, throw the rings wherever you want, and just practice the steps. But if you just no practice come to a game, one, you might just not use it because you're too scared. Two, you might screw it up. Three, you could potentially injure yourself. And it might not be good for the team if you have tripped over your ankles and you are on the floor. So practice the steps, get them into your head, get your feet into like a kind of a second nature, kind of second habit. So it's like, I know what I've got to do. I don't even have to look at the floor. I don't have to slow down. I can just perform the step at speed, no problem. You're not going to lose any speed. You're going to step, go, gone. Happy days. Okay, so for this part, you will need a partner. We're going to use these Evasion belts. So they're attached around, they're attached by Velcro, and you've got to step side to side. So say if I'm going first, he's going to have to copy my movements. I've got to try and beat him for the Velcro to break. So it's a game. So if every time it breaks, I get a point. Every time he stays with me, it doesn't break, he gets a point. Go for the 20 seconds max, and then 3 goes each. See who wins, and then make up a forfeit between you. So have a watch. Okay, so as you can see, it's really tiring. It's a great game. It's a good laugh as well. If you've got kids or just to play that with them, it'll keep them interested. Even at our age, well, 22, 24, we still find it fun going side to side. You don't have to just stick with a kind of lateral, just this slightly sideways. You can practice your steps. So instead of just a shuffle, 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 you can do a crossover, you can practice the little steps, you can do anything you want. But a key tip I will say is watch the core right here. I've mentioned it in my defensive videos back earlier. Watch the core. The core goes wherever the body goes. They can move their head, they can move their hands, they can move their feet, do all this amazing dance work. If you watch the core, no problem. So give it a go. It's a great game. It's a great way to improve your agility, improve your reactions. Let me know how you get on. Again, any questions, drop me an email, go onto my YouTube, jump in the comments section. And that is it for the whole educational series. Hope you enjoyed it. If this is the first video you're watching, go and check out all the others, buy the equipment, and get improving your rugby. See you soon.